We'll check. Oh, oh, Xbox did not like that. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. Cool, cool, cool. As we wait for the great countdown, which is basically just everyone basically loading in, because of course this game's cross generation, cross platform. So there's mechanical hard drives, there's solid state drives. They're all loading the game at different rates, and I'm holding back a big burp. So that's not great, but anyway. Let me post that Div 3 is live in the news, and we shall get underway. Well, I don't know what we're... Okay. 2-week break and the game's gone. You know what? I'm on a 2-week break too. So, yeah, hello? Game? Oh, here we go. It's counting down again. There you go. Good quality stuff. Welcome aboard, everyone. I am your host, SD Romulus, and I am back. Well, we are back. The Australian division of Rapid Racing League across all 4 divisions is back from a 2-week break that consisted of these past 2 weeks, obviously. And in between that was the Australian Grand Prix. So, of course, some of us got to meet in person, and that was a wonderful time. We went karting, and I showed my appropriate Div 2 pace. But nonetheless, we are back in the world of virtual racing. We are continuing the second half of Season 2 of Rapid Racing League's Division 3 Australia. And of course, yeah, the Euro boys kept going, but we Australians had a 2-week break, as previously stated. So I hope you're all doing well. And yeah, let's get this session underway. We've got some new faces here, plenty of new faces, if I'm going to be honest. There's a couple of reserves here. We've got a Ferrari already out on track. It is Dusk Till Dawn, who is a Div 3 debutant. I believe he has reserved in Div 3. Maybe. Might have had a different name change. I mean, there are people who've joined in, who've been banned, who've come in under different names. So, I mean, I'm not implying that he's been someone who's been banned, but, you know, he could have raced in Div 4 or something, and I didn't know, because I don't pay attention to everything. So, nonetheless, we are back. I need to see if my mic's working, because I actually got no idea. Oh. Oh, it is working. Okay, cool. Because I couldn't hear myself for a split second there on my phone. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. But no, we're good. We are good. But yeah, I was only there for... it's freaky to think that we're already talking about going to Imola, and yet Melbourne was like 2 weeks back. But anyway, Melbourne was a great experience. I only went there on a single day. I only went there on a Saturday. But it was great. Got myself some nice merch. Actually, the merch was too fucking pricey. I just bought myself the standard generic Mercedes and Ferrari shirts, because I just wanted just some clean, simple shirts from them. I didn't want the team shirts from other team. So I got that, and then I got myself some supercar stuff, which is tradition there. So yeah, I was glad to go there. Getting there via public transport was a bit of a pain, but, I mean, with an event as big as it was, it's no surprise. So anyway, hope you're all doing well. Hope you've all been keeping yourselves busy in this 2-week period. In between the last race we had in Belgium, we had daylight saving shift. So of course everything's now an hour back if you're on the East Coast, unless you're from Queensland. I think that's still the case. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to time zones unless it's daylight savings. But anyway, we're on board with Dusk Till Dawn, who has invalidated his lap at some point in between the first and second sector. So who else have we got next coming through? No, it's Thomas Island. Someone else who's had limited Div 3 experience, but has taken the step up after some impressive performances. We've got Levar. Has been here nearly every race this season. Very regular appearances from him. As is X-Laps. X-Laps actually hasn't been here for the last few races, but he's back. I hope he is back for the rest of the season. It's good to see him race again. Let's see what Noodles has just posted in the chat, in the Twitch chat. Thomas is quick to watch. Yeah, I mean, I've seen him quick. I've seen him. He's quick. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm going to go on board with him, as he might be the first to finish a lap. Difficult to say because... oh, never mind. Top Racing Life. He's going to be the first one to cross the line here. We're going to see how he handles the banked curve of misery, as was the case in my race. I had a race to forget here. I tried to overtake, funny enough, a Ferrari, and spun here. as Top Racing Life goes to the top of the timing boards with a 1:18.50. Decent time there, actually. That's actually a pretty damn good... Only 3/10 off my qualifying time in Q3, so that's a good start. That's a quality start by Top Racing Life, as LeVar goes second with a 1:12.3, 5/10 shy of that lap. But X-Laps bridges the two with a 1:11.970, and we have an AlphaTauri not far behind. It is Mansell who posts a... Wow! 1:12.386, 1:12.387. We've already got some very close times here. Coming back after a 2-week break. Of course, people will take their time. Some people probably will take a sabbatical from the game for 2 weeks. Me personally, I actually played a lot of my team and grinded at some 2021 achievements. But I've been really enjoying playing my team, and it's reignited my love for the game a little more after sort of seeing it as a bit of a procession as Dusk Till Dawn crosses the line with the slowest time of the 5 cars with a 1:12.820. And we have the other AlphaTauri of Green Goats, who is a reserve regular. He reserves for Divs 2, 3, and 4. Kind of weird, but I ain't gonna judge. And we all do different... all the admins have different approaches to these things, which is fine. But if he's proven to be considerably quicker than the rest of the field, then maybe he should just be in Div 2. But we'll see, of course, we'll see. As we have a yellow flag near the banked curve of misery. My fellow teammate in hiatus, Pajala, he had a had a really good name for that corner, and I completely forgot what it was, and I'm bitterly disappointed I forgot. But we're gonna go on board with Green Goats. It's not Green Goats. That's the other AlphaTauri going into the pit lane. Actually, has the other AlphaTauri just straight up crashed? Oh, what happened here? What's he doing? He's staying out on track. Has he just faked out? What is he doing? He's going to get disqualified. As Car Gamer sets a 1:12.9, so he needs to go back out there to catch up to the top 2 right now. So we see Dusk Till Dawn held up by Mansell there a little bit, as Green Goats goes fastest with a 1:11.7 in Q1. So that might cause a bit of controversy there, a bit of spiciness there with Dusk Till Dawn being held up by Mansell's AI. I don't know what Mansell was doing, but Dusk gets out of the way for Green Goats. Very smart of him to pull on the inside there, because it is very difficult to give people room on the circuit. Despite all the intense banking and all that, it is actually quite hard. But he's now got to get out of the way from McLaren of Clappy. I saw a purple sector somewhere. I saw a very spicy purple sector somewhere. Oh, we've got the Alfa Romeo of Loopy Potato coming out. That's actually Mad Skills, or Matt Skills. And he's also making a Div 3 debut tonight, as we're on board with Lil C Casper. Little Vitamin C, maybe? I don't know. But there is a yellow flag coming up. It is Andy H, and he gets out of the way. Andy H was a late out, but has decided to change course. Let's see, Dusk Till Dawn on the racing line a bit there. Little C Casper, unfortunately. Oh, I think that's more down to a miscommunication than anything else. But I hope, given these guys knew, that they exercise racing etiquette and don't cause each other harm. That would be rather nice. Of course, the standard of racing has gotten better, as we see Loopy get past Crunchy. Loopy and Crunchy, isn't that just calamari? As Rapid Clappy crosses the line, it sets a 1:12.295. Evening War Machine, how you doing, mate? Welcome aboard to the stream. Hope you're doing well. As Dusk Till Dawn runs out of fuel, he's very low on fuel, and he has a McLaren who wanted to go in. Urban Growth crosses the line, goes P2 with a 1:11.7. The gap between him and Green Goats is about a bee's dick in length. Actually, that's LeVar and Mansell's gap, actually, if I'm going to be honest. Lil Casper is setting the slowest of the 10 times currently set with a 1:13.7. And we're on board with AMG Mazepin, who has returned from a considerable stint in reserve hell. We've been trying to get him a seat for a while, and trying to figure out how the hell we can do this reserve system of sorts, because your car is auto steering. What do? Check your assist settings. It should be somewhere there. But Crunchy sets a purple first sector. I'd oh, we got a yellow flag in sector 1 with Alpha. So settings and then assists. That should be what you're looking for. Have a quick peek in there once you're in the pits. Green Goats goes even quicker with a 1:11.5. So that's it's kind of proving that he should be Div 2 pace in my opinion. But you know, he's matched me. So I mean, I was a little quicker, but still in the 1:11.5 bracket, as Lil Casper does improve, marginally so, but not enough for him to gain a position. So we're on board with Loopy Potato here, as Itsy Boy leaves the session. He is supposed to serve a qualifying ban, as Loopy think, yeah, he has front wing damage. That was some intense understeer, so... should he be even in Div? Well, to be fair, we have had people race in Div 3 and had their results nullified. But that doesn't matter because Thomas Island has just destroyed Green Goat's time and has set a 1:11.2. So that's pretty damn fast for Div 3, if I say so myself. Setting some impressive times, the top 5 in particular. AMG Mazepin, of which is the 5th in this timing zone. As Crunchy sets another purple sector. But yeah, my race here was very short, I will add. I had a spin going uphill where the second Red Bull is, I believe, Little Casper. No, it's the other Red Bull, so it's Mazepin. That bit back there, I spun trying to overtake someone. As we have an Alfa Romeo who spun. It's Loopy. He's still struggling with wing damage. And we're on board with Little Casper, who's slower in Sector 3. So he's not going to gain. In fact, he's going to go straight into the pit lane. We're going to attentively watch Crunchy Swanman as he sets a purple second sector. And that, well, going by what we're seeing on the timing board, won't be enough for him to go up to the top. But will it be enough to put him on the front? Whoa, he had to ease off the throttle a bit there. He's looking pretty quick, though. I believe there was definitely purple sector pace in him. But, yeah, it's just sort of backfired as we see AMG Mazepin improving by a fraction. By Beast Dick, he goes up to P3 with a 1:11.7. And Green Goat is still out there on track. We have a Mercedes-Benz crossing the... Nope, it's Kangaroo Guy. He's taking the inside line, crossing the line. He goes P2 with a 1:11.4. Can't change anything. Quit and restart the game, mate. You can join off me, Mansell. If it's something going on with the controller, turn off the controller, turn it back on. If it's the game, quit the game or reset your Xbox. Still plenty of time, mate. So the only ones yet to set times, Mad Dog goes 15th fastest with a 1:12.489. So it's your boy here, has to serve a quali ban. Long time no see. Yeah, and long time no see, Perks. Didn't see you at the Div 2 race, but I mean, after a 2-week break, we kind of forget. I almost didn't turn up myself, and to be honest, given my poor race result, I probably shouldn't have, but anyway, it's good to hope you're doing well, mate. And yeah, on board with Andy H. It's looking pretty decent in the first sector. Not purple, but semi-decent. He has an Alpine in front, which does need to move out of the way. Which of the Alpines is it? It is Mad Dog. Oh, bit of oversteer there going into... Oh, and Andy H loses the rear on the curbs and does a sick drift for us. So thank you for that, Andy H. Unfortunately for your tyres, they are fucked. And I'll let it's your boy here know that he is to serve a quali ban. I've already mentioned that countless times. Oh, I hate Discord. I fucking hate Discord. Let me... There you go. It loads up the names. It has to load up people's names. Which is stupid. So, we'll see what Jish can do, because he's already down in P10th. He's actually been out-qualified by his teammate. Ooh. What's Cargamer doing? He's warming up his tyres. He has a McLaren behind him. Needs to get the hell out of the way. As he has AMG Mazepin there. Yeah, Cargamer's got to be mighty careful here. But Clappy crosses the line, goes P3. Was he given a toe there? Was that intentional? I don't know, but he's gone up to P3 as a result. What do you think is safe? Good evening, Vorno. Hope you're doing well, mate. Goffy didn't even make half a lap last night. Yeah, look, I made 5.5. And I didn't even crash out. I spun not far from where AMG Mazepin is currently on track. And I went, I'm 16th. And look, I pulled a muscle in my neck somewhere, so I already wasn't feeling great. And I had a migraine on top of that. And I just went, nah, fuck this. Kangaroo Guy, though, could go P1. He doesn't. Only by the smallest of margins. I think he set a purple third sector there, but it's mighty close between Thomas Island and Kangaroo Guy as it stands. With Rapid Clappy sitting happy in P3 there. I'd be chuffed if I had Kangaroo Guy's time in Div 2. I'll say that much. As we see Urban Growth going very wide there, going into the most technical part of the track, I'd arguably say. Because of the... Oh! We've got Loopy who spun. Has Loopy been involved in any contact? Jish does get ahead of X-Laps though. But Loopy has not had a debut session to remember. He gets out of the way as Thomas retires from the session, having set the fastest time. He has not crashed out. And I believe Loopy might opt to retire from the session himself. He is on the track without a front wing. As Clappy also retires, Kangaroo Guy's going slow. So either he's getting ready for a full flying lap to try to take P1 in Q1, or he's going to go straight back into the pits. And he's just taking in the scenery that is Zandvoort, digitally recreated in Formula 1 2021. Claps. Okay, so you got the toe. Righto, okay. Interesting. Don't recall there being a McLaren Alfa Romeo alliance, but, you know. I mean, I guess McLaren were powered by Alfa Romeo in the early 80s, so the precedent's there. The good old V12 and then their V6 turbo, which exploded like there was no tomorrow. It just exploded. That's just Alfa Romeo V6s. I mean, not the Busso, but anything else just explodes from them. As much as I love an Alfa. So we see Cargamer go into the pits. His time good enough for P9, so he is safe. So we see X-Laps and It's Your Boy here. It's Your Boy here just hits the wall. Oh, okay, he's supposed to serve a quality ban. I think he's just realised that. So I think we're going to go... Oh, he's just retired from session. I was hoping he would do a spectacular crash like Pinju did once when he served a quality ban. Apparently he served... I was watching... Is Warnock T3? He's not anymore. No, he's gone down to Div 4. He's gone down to Tier 4, Div 4. And in his place is Top Racing Life and Dusk Till Dawn. So the two... But he's still driving for... Oh no, he's driving for Williams in Div 4. X-Laps... If X-Laps is in chat, I mean, he's driving, so I doubt it. But he'd be able to confirm for me. If Crunchy is in chat... No, he's on a lap. He's 4/10 up in the first sector, apparently. So he's on a flying lap right now. But... What I'm interested in is seeing what X-Laps can do on his return. As we see someone... Urban Growth crashing out, actually. X-Laps crosses the line. And pips his teammate, going P5. The gap between these three is a bee's dick in length. But unfortunately for Urban Growth, he's out. And that's where his car is. I think he overcorrected or oversteered into that wall there. Green Goats. So the top four have all retired from session. They are all happy with their times, and if I were in their boots, I'd be pretty happy with those times as well. Naughty retiring on track. Hey, I retired on track too. I just didn't have it in me. I had a migraine and a sore neck. Because I thought, oh, my neck's... Because I got self-conscious about my neck. And I was like, oh, my neck's slanched too low over. If you know me in person, my long hair covers a lot of my neck. And I've had long hair for the better half of... decade now, about 8 years now, roughly, or 7.5 years now. So we have a Williams. It's Lavar. As he spun on the banking of pain. I already forgot what the older name was. I'm just making a new name on the fly. So we see Mad Dog setting a purple middle sector this late in the session. That's interesting as X-Laps gets out of the way. Very nice work there from X-Laps to get out of the way and not impede. Gotta be very careful on a lot of these curbs. They will send you spinning for chips. It's not quite the saying that Frizy says, but chips is in there, so I'm using it. But we see Mad Dog cross the line and go P5. Very handy time of 1:11.6. X-Laps dives into the pits with 50 seconds left on the clock. Of course, it's 50 seconds on my end, but it might be 2 minutes on their end, because the bug's been fixed where if someone joins in late, they're able to, like, you know, join in the same time as AMG Mazepin pips Mad Dog and goes 5th fastest. But, yeah, I mean, it could be 2 minutes, and I've got to find more time to... Levar, hey, Frizy called him that, Rose. Fucking, what's his name? Frizy called him that, as Little Casper retires from session having set the 17th fastest time. So unfortunately for him, he will not progress into Q2, nor will Mansell as it stands, or Urban Growth, or It's Your Boy here. As Dishway retires having set the 8th fastest time, and we have an Aston Martin spinning again. Same corner for Andy H, it's just not, that corner has not done him any favours tonight. Did he flip off the construction worker who made that part of the track, maybe? Oh, he's got to be careful because those tyres are going to be searing hot. Such temperature going through those tyres, he could cook eggs. Look, I had an XRT become ER, blame Frizy, man. I used to call him XRT, and then Frizy would just say Levar, and I'm like, okay, look, vaguely makes sense, you know, weird pronunciations of words exists. English is a fucked language. So I just kind of went, okay, I'll just do it. But because it's a contention point, I'm now going to call him XRT again. Levert. Levert. Okay, fine. Levert. 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 I mean, the X, yeah, okay, fair. But I'll just call him XRT. I don't care. I've always called him XRT until Frizy came in. That's not shade at Frizy, by the way. He's a magnificent commentator. He would have been in tonight, but I know he does a lot of commentary across, even like a league in the United States at this point, so I Rum and Fry go to names. Hey, I blame him for that. Hey, to be fair though, I named Goffy Goey, or yeah, Goey? I can't remember what I called him, but yeah, he's told OCE streamers too. Of course he has. Anyway, that is the end of Q1. We have an old man on screen. Oh, no, never mind. That's just Thomas Island with the Ukrainian flag. In solidarity with Ukraine. We will not be running the Russian race this year. Yeah, that's applicable to all divisions. And I hope the guys running Div 1 and 2 will remember that, because I'm sure as hell I'm not going to run Russia. But anyway, Thomas Island, Kangaroo Guy, Rapid Clappy, Green Goats, AMG Mazepin, Mad Dog, X-Laps, Jishway, Top Racing Life, Crunchy Swanman. Round out your top 10. Further down the field, we've got Cargamer, Dusk, Andy H, Lever, XRT, fuck it, I'm calling him XRT. And then eliminated from the session were Urban Growth, who crashed out, but then eliminated on pace were Mansell, Lil C, Loopy, and It's Your Boy Here. We're now going to progress into Q2, where we'll see who gets into the top 10. Stick with us, hope you're enjoying the stream. And if anyone wants their name butchered, just hit Rom up. Yeah. What, I got Rose right, so that's 1 out of 3. Should launch a what's that? Is it Cameo? Hang on, I'm gonna look this up. Is it Cameo? I forgot what it was. Yeah, I think it is Cameo. Yeah, I'll launch a Cameo of me butchering English pronunciations despite being a native English speaker. Romario-less. Actually, he's called me a Greek god, Frizy, which is weird because Romulus is Roman. But anyway. I mean, I guess the two aren't that inherently disconnected from one another. They're both European, but yeah, you know, kind of wrong era. Bless him. But X-Laps is the first out on the medium tyre. He's going uphill. And you'll get to see this curve here, this exact point there. I wish I could edit the stream on the fly, because I would literally freeze frame it there. And I'd say that's where my heart broke, because I typically like this track, but I've had zero luck here in league racing. What does Romulus even mean? That's actually a really good question. So the reason why I'm called that is not because I picked that name. It's because when my dad used to play Steam, used to play on PC gaming via Steam, he used to play Modern Warfare 2, and a couple of his mates had like Roman general names, so he joined in with Romulus, and I just sort of stuck with that with my Xbox gamer tag. I actually have a backup Xbox account with my actual like Mick LMZR thing, but Romulus was the first ruler of Rome, from what I know anyway. Or one of the first anyway. Something in that ballpark. But anyway, we've got X-Laps crossing the line to start a lap. He'll be the first, and hopefully will stay on track, because countless examples this year, people start the laps first and they go off the track. Oh, X-Laps was lucky to not lose it there actually on that curb. Curbs are very risky here because they're of the sausage variety, and if you're an F3 car, back the fuck away, because your car will just go flying about 100 feet in the air. Then what's SD? I don't know. I think I picked SD because my dad had some like random German thing. And I'm like, no, I don't want German words, I just want some random sequence of words. I occasionally think of what SD means. Like, if I give it thought, I'll go, okay, it can mean this, or it could mean that. But to be honest, SD card, yeah. A-League? Nah, I'm not an A-League fan, mate. Sorry, I'm not actually a... more of an AFL fan, but anyway. But that is very well known. I'm very well known for being a big AFL person at this point. X-Laps going flat out through there. He's got more balls around the banking of doom than I do, as he goes first currently, provisionally, with a 1:12.3. A nifty time there on the mediums, as XRT goes third, but Top Racing Life pips him by 0.2 of a second on the same compound to do a 1:12.1 on the mediums. So some decent times being set here. Sorry, I misread that. I thought XRT said a 1:12.6. He actually said a 1:13.6. AMG Mazepin goes second though, and Dusk goes P4 with a 1:12.8. We have an Alfa Romeo coming down. That is Cargamer. He's starting a lap. Clappy is coming down to post his time. He goes fastest with a 1:11.9 on the medium tyres. Who you go for AFL? I go for the Giants, the GWS Giants. So my life is pain right now because we're 1-4, and we beat Gold Coast when Gold Coast were playing at their shittiest. So I don't have. I mean, we fluked finals last year. Thomas Arlen repeats the fastest or impressive pace he set by going fastest in Q2 on the medium tyres. That's a mighty impressive time on the mediums. But yeah, I go for the Giants. Yeah, we're not doing good. Also, but on good news, Toby Green's back. I mean, he's a bit of a goofball, and a bit of a cunt. But I mean, he's such a fun player to watch. So anyway, we have Top Racing Life. Is he coming for another lap, or is he going back into the pits? Yeah, Bombers. Yeah, man, Bombers. I have a lot of solid. I mean, like, it's because my dad's a Carlton supporter and he hates the Bombers, and I'm like, no, I can't. I actually like them. I guess because the Giants had Sheedy and everything, so you know that's similarity going on there. But yeah, I like the Bombers, and I want to see them do good. There's a few players I like from the Bombers, and you've taken some of our players too. Jai Caldwell for one. Someone else I've forgotten, but anyway. As X-Laps goes faster in Sector 1. Going through the motions, through the very technical part of the track. Ooh, it's very ballsy with his curb usage. He's using a lot of curb. Something I wouldn't do. Yeah, Swans on top. Yeah, Swans are doing really well. Honestly, they are the... Oh, hang on. I can't say they're the best interstate team because the Brisbane Lions exist, but... You know, Brisbane looks really good. In my opinion, the top 4 will be like Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, or maybe like Geelong, then Sydney. I don't know. It's hard to say. But anyway, back to Formula 1. The racing at Melbourne was actually pretty good. Actually, I'll talk about that race real quick because we didn't. No one's discussed this. No one's discussed this on stream. No one's discussed it in the Discord, as far as I can tell. But X-Laps does go quicker and goes P6 or stays P6 actually. But yeah, the Melbourne Grand Prix was okay. I mean, it's a good track. I like the changes they've done because I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan of the old layout anyway, especially the 2017 onwards cars. Do I think your mediums time is safe? If everyone else does medium times, if everyone else stays on the mediums, yeah, you're fine. But if, well, you see here, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars on the soft tyres. So I'd personally say, look, see how many people set soft times and see what the gaps are on the softs. I'm seeing some pretty quick people here. All coming out on the soft compound tyre. Leclerc is kind of overrated. No, I don't agree with you on that, honestly. He's giving me vibes of Verstappen in 2021, and in a good way, as Cargamer goes purple, but there's XRT in the way. XRT needs to get out of the way. XRT, Cargamer goes very wide on the curb, stays within track limits. XRT still doesn't get out of the way. He finally gets the message and lets Cargamer through. But nah, he's having like Verstappen, like. I just vividly remember this because I remember I'll never believe Mercedes. I'll always believe Mercedes will be the dominant team, always, and to see them genuinely not is surprising to me. But last year when Verstappen was really just like, he just came out of nowhere. It wasn't really he came out of nowhere, but 2020 he had some really consistent performances. If he wasn't, he was always on the podium. If he didn't DNF, he was on the podium. Simple as that. And Cargamer crosses the line, goes fastest with a 1:11.5 on the soft tyre, so that's interesting. As Clappy spins, doesn't damage his car though, as Jushway car passes him. Anyway, back to Leclerc-Verstappen comparisons. But anyway, Verstappen, TLDR, he burst onto the scene in 2021, in my opinion anyway. It was a couple of seasons coming anyway, because of how good he was. And he just, when he was in the lead, he was untouchable. He was just... On these best, he was as good as Hamilton in my opinion. Leclerc is in that same bracket. Leclerc, when he's in the lead, and you can see it as Crunchy goes quick, Kangaroo Guy, sorry, goes quicker, and we're seeing 3 cars in the 1:11.5s, but Jishway has gone even quicker than all of them. He's currently set the fastest time of the session so far, 1:11.205. That's a mighty lap from him. As we see Clappy going off into the grass a little bit there. We're going to go on board with Clappy. No pressure, mate, but you're on the cams now, and we're going to be watching your lap attentively. But, Yeah, Leclerc's just got that similar vibe to Verstappen and Hamilton. Shame for Sainz, though, but I'm glad for Perez, though. Oh, Clappy takes the realistic line going up through the first set of banked corners, which is rather interesting. Sort of works. I've tried it before in last year's Div 1 race. It actually did kind of work, as Crunchy didn't best his time. Who best their time? It was the other Williams. Oh, and Clappy spun. I think he has rear wing damage. It might have been XRT going quicker. It's on the cusp, though. Oh, and he hits the wall. Does he not have a front wing? Well, I mean, if he didn't before, he sure as hell doesn't have one now. Oh, no, he still has one. No damage. You no damage? Or there's no damage in the game? Because I swear I had sim damage on. That or the cars are made of steel. Well, actually, carbon fiber is stronger than steel, but, you know, for analogy's sake here. So we have a Haas going very slowly down. Oh, it's Crunchy and Jish and Kangaroo Guy. The three all opting to go into the bot pits and box. They are all happy with their times. I'd be chuffed if I was in that top 4 right now. How are you typing and driving at the same time? He's either that good, or that explains why he's been spinning. I mean, look at him here. I mean, if he is typing right now, that doesn't surprise me, because he overcorrected steer. Or unless he's doing what I do when I drive, and I drive one-handed these days, which is a really stupid idea. Don't do that. But like just literally 2 days ago, I was going to pick up my brother from work, and it was raining, because it was raining pretty persistently yesterday and for the first half of today, like up until midday or so. And I decided, okay, I'm going to treat this corner like how I always do. And my piss weak little VW Golf understeered nearly into a ditch, but it didn't, thankfully. But the point is that your car might be slow as shit, but you can still fuck up somewhere. AI mode. That's not AI mode, mate. The way he's taking those corners, that's not AI mode. There'd be a bit of a robotic, almost wheel-like precision. And there'd be avoidance of curbs as well. So, and he wouldn't have spun. Oh, he's still in there. His car. Look, if I'm going to be honest, if an F1 car took that many batterings and was still fully functional with downforce, I'd take that back to the factory and I'd properly examine that. Because that's... Oh, he's got to be careful. We don't want to see any rear end shunts. That's another thing that interests me about this pit lane, is that it's short, and because it's basically the pit lane goes around one of the faster bits of the track. If you went through there at 80, you'd come out there quicker. Like under a VSC, it'd be overpowered if it was 80, and that's why it's 60. But the fact that you have to go that fast and then slow down that harsh is a little sketchy, to put it lightly. But Green Goats goes P2 with a 111.3. Damage must be off. I don't get that. Damage should be on. Damage should be on. Unless it's just decided... Because I literally loaded up the lobby settings for it to be like that. Unless the game's genuinely forgot. No, that's unrelated. Simulation settings. Yeah, look, simulation. On my end, it says simulation and everything. Maybe because the car damage rate's reduced a little bit. I don't know why it's reduced, if I'm going to be honest, but... I think that's what I was told to do way back when I set up this template back October last year. Yeah, it's Clappy, you're goated and your car is just made out of the strongest metal known to man. If you're not careful, mate, you're going to have militaries expressing interest on how to build their tanks to be stronger. So we see Thomas Island. That's not Thomas Island, that's Mad Dog, actually, going P6. 1:11.5. 2 minutes 30 left in the session. Of course, this session will determine the top 10 going into Q3, which will obviously determine the rest of the grid. As Andy H is the only one of the 14 cars to not set a time. He's on the mediums, though. As Jishway retires, having set the fastest time in Q2. Got a lot of Snapchats here, and I got sent a sticker. Why would an NT team work? Yes, I agree. Northern Territory football team. But then again, if I was AFL boss, I'd keep GWS because I'm a GWS fan. I'd keep Gold Coast because I like Gold Coast. Well, if I needed to make it 20 teams to make it even, to not repeat what's happening with the VFL as Andy H goes 13th fastest with a 1:12.4. So we have yellow flags everywhere. Don't know why, but anyway. I'd have a third Western Australian team, and I'd have a Northern Territory team. As X-Laps crashes out of the session. So that is him out of qualifying, binning it, going into the first of the 2 banked corners on this track. The curb's likely catching him out in the end. That was a nasty crash there. You can see his car there. I'm surprised, like, those banked corners give me, like, the impression that they could just fly, like, cars could just fly off them, like in the 30s where they had, like, those massive speedway bankings with, like, nothing to protect cars or people if they flew off the banking. Because, you know, in the 1930s, it wasn't about safety, it was about how many people they could murder by, you know, having a flaming wreckage of magnesium crash into a field of people. Wait, that was... Wait, that was 1955, sorry. Also, I'm probably banned in Switzerland now for saying that, but anyway. If you want to know what it is, it's a 1955 Le Mans disaster. Not a particularly bright moment in motorsport history, but anyway. MG Mazepin is going quicker. How much quicker will he go? He goes P3. So he cemented himself there on the second row. Clappy, how much does he improve by? Only by 1 position. The gap between him and 10th is 6/10 of a second, or yeah, about 5-6 of a second. Mad Dog though, P2 with a 1:11.237. Mighty stuff there from him. He's been pretty damn solid all weekend actually, or all weekend. It's been 30 minutes. If 30 minutes is a weekend, then I guess I'm going to be dead by next week. Attentively watch Thomas Ireland's time to see what he can do. See if he can secure his spot in the top 10 shootout. Crosses the line. Goes fastest in Q2 with a 1:11 flat. As Top Racing Life goes P6, which puts Clappy in danger. But XRT is finished. X-Laps is out. Andy H is somewhere. He's in the pits. And Dusk's in the pits as well. Apparently cars are still going. So... yeah, Clappy's safe. So I don't know, and I wasn't paying 100% attention, but I wasn't sure if Clappy did improve. Did you set a 1:11.9, Clappy? I know you're in the chat because you're always active on the Twitch chats, but did you set a 1:11.9 and then improve to a 1:11.6, or did you always have a 1:11.6? Because if you did, then you know, I was half right. I mean, I wasn't going to give you advice because I'm a commentator, not a race engineer, but... Yeah, okay, yeah, you did set a 1:11.9, okay. So yeah, that... I mean, you still would have gotten in anyway. But considering 11th is XRT's 1:12.2, he'll be starting from second pole, though. In fact, the second pole row will consist of XRT and X-Laps. So they have strategy to... I could have told you that. Mate, it's not my job. I always check my times. But then again, I always like to go faster just in case something fucks up. But anyway, these are your top 10 going into Q3. Thomas Island leads us once again with Jishway, Mad Dog, Green Goats, AMG Mazepin, Top Racing Life, Kangaroo Guy, Car Gamer, Crunchy Swanman, and Rapid Clappy. Those are your top 10. Eliminated from the session are XRT. X-Laps crashed, but his time slots in perfectly with everyone else, actually. So that kind of works out bizarrely well. But I know he can go faster. Unfortunately for him, he'll start from 12th. And then Andy H and Dusk round out the 4 that are eliminated. Who will be on pole? We'll find out. It's 9 cars on the softs and 1 on the mediums. Strategy will be very interesting. Oh, mate. Can't always be in Q3. Trust me, in Div 2, I've been in Q3. I've been out in Q1. It's Div 2. Did I say Div 3? I meant Div 2 if I said Div 3. But in Div 2, I've been in the bottom 5. I've been in the top 5. Bottom 5 twice, top 5 once. I can't remember what race the top 5 was. Oh no, I was 7th in Portugal. That was the race I won. I think I was like 5th or something in Azerbaijan or something. I can't remember. But anyway. Oh no, it might have been... Oh, yeah, no. Because I remember being kind of up there because me and Pajala were in the top 10 on that race. What happened with Andy H? Blaming the fevers. Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, you're sick. So Andy's as I said in the stream, he said he was going to be laid out because of illness, but he's opted to come in So, like, good on you for doing that, mate. Seriously, because this is a bloody intense commitment. You got to concentrate when you do these races, and you know you're not feeling well, but you still want to race. Good on you. Seriously, I hope you recover soon. Um, yeah, hopefully it's not COVID. But COVID's sort of seemingly. I mean, maybe we've all forgotten about it. Terrible track. Amen. Yeah, it's a dog shit track. It's a glorified go-kart track. Oh, it's not. You know, go-kart tracks have less elevation changes, but elevation changes have character in them. Not banked corners. But then again, I like NASCAR, so I mean, I'm indifferent to NASCAR. Watched like 2 races. I've watched more IndyCar races than NASCAR. But then again, I genuinely really like IndyCar because I just sort of like the just the American motorsport mentality is so different from the European one. That I sort of just IndyCar still has that resemblance of what old school American racing was to a degree. You know, in the sense that there are, you know, everyone's got similar equipment, but the well-funded teams know how to make the most of it. So we have Clappy first to cross the line to start the first lap for Q3. Oh, thank God it's not COVID. Well, I mean, it could be the flu. I've heard a few people have gotten the flu. I've had the flu shot for the last 2 years and I've managed to avoid it. But I've had the flu shots and COVID shots and I've managed to avoid both. Hang on. If you heard that slap, that's me slapping my bed frame. Oh, and Clappy spins and crashes out of Q3. So unfortunately for him, he'll be starting on the 5th row and will not set a time. I guess my COVID talk's probably distracted him. I do apologize if my incessant, continuous talking distracted you there. Sometimes I get distracted. I got distracted a couple of times in Div 2 streams, watching the streams, just to see what happened in front of me or what happened around me, because it was just fun to see their reactions, Noodles and Coots' reactions, and I'd get distracted. Too much typing, not enough driving. No, hey, he got into Q3. If that's him with too much typing, not enough driving, can you imagine if he was just driving then? He'd be on pole by about 5/10 of a second, about half a second. 5/10 of a second. Yeah, right, okay. Which is half a second, but anyway. Crunchy will be the first person to cross the timing board. He sets a 1:11.251, which is a pretty damn decent time. But he has got competition who sets slightly faster times. Top Racing Life, though, is not one of those currently. He sets a 1:11.7 and goes second. And he's lagging like crazy, I've noticed. My stream is looking pretty good, and yeah. I mean, I can see it on my phone right here. I'm using my mobile data, so it's not interrupting the buffering or anything like that. Do let me know if the stream does crap out at any point, though. Because I'll probably not be able to do anything about it because I'm streaming on an Xbox. But Car Gamer goes P2 with a 1:11.3, so that's some decent pace from him. Oh, he's got to be mighty careful there. I suspect we'll see quite a few incidents on that corner in particular, which kind of confuses me a little bit. It implies that maybe the setups, maybe the floors are a little low on the setups. Green Goats goes fastest with a 1:11.182. And Thomas Island matches Car Gamer's time of 1:11.330. For the Alfa Romeo and the Alpine, the two cars that go are matching each other's times. I stole that joke, by the way. Let's see what Top Racing Life can do. Well, we didn't get any sector times, but given he's at the 105 range, crossing into the 110s on the banked corner of Misery, he's not looking to improve. In fact, he's going to look to dive into the pit lane. So only 5 cars have set times so far, which is rather interesting. I mean, with only 9 running still, I would have suspected at least 6 or 7 of them would have gotten out on track by now. But we do have Kangaroo Guy on an outlap. Thomas Island for pole. Yeah, Thomas Island's looking very strong. I can't remember if he set fastest first qualifying time, but he definitely set a very strong impression there. As we're on board with Kangaroo Guy, going through turn 1. Got to be careful not to hit the inside curb. You can hit a little bit of that outside curb there, and you got to just avoid the curbs here in general. But even then, setup dependent, you might still have a bit of oversteer going in there, depending on the shifting of balance between accelerating harshly and braking. Because of course that can throw off the cars here too. Got braking suddenly and accelerating suddenly, that can throw off the cars. Which is obviously less of an issue if you're playing with a wheel. Because of course you've got the precision of the pedals. Unless you're me and you like have really precise finger trigger action. But Kangaroo Guy uses a bit too much curb going past turn 6. And unfortunately for him, That's compromised his lap a little bit. We'll still see what he can do. No, he's pulled off to the side there. Actually, he could just continue on because he's got a lot of gap behind him. And that gap is Jishway, the current championship leader. Given Collapse, I gotta say you're making good progress then if that's your first race on a wheel, because transitioning from a controller to a wheel is like learning how to ride a bike without training was when you're a kid. You know, when... I mean, maybe this is just a me thing. But when I grew up, when I moved to Country Vic when I was like 8 or 9, I was still using training bikes on my wheels. Oh no, hang on, when I was like 7, never mind, because I used my bikes a lot earlier than that, maybe even younger. Anyway, I eventually stopped using the... oh, Jish nearly loses it there in the back corner of Misery, and I've started to ride my bike without training wheels, and yeah, it was a different experience because you don't have that rear stability. And I kind of liken that actually to traction control too, actually. It's like having training wheels on the back of your car. The back of your Formula 1 car, that is. Although I don't think training wheels on the back of a Haas VF21 would look... I mean, for one, the rubber would just shred off really quickly. Thank you, Matt Skills. Thank you. Yeah. I try to do a good job at comms. I occasionally miss the ball. I think having the 2 weeks off has refreshed me a little bit because I didn't think much about racing. I mean, I played this game, but I didn't think much about the league, and it's good to have a break every now and then. It's good to have our minds turned off from the things that we've been preoccupied and busy with, and that's why I feel pretty good about commentating tonight. I'm happy to be back. Happy to see everyone in good spirits too. And happy to finally meet some of these guys in person. Unfortunately, no one in Div 3 was there at the event. In fact, I was one of maybe 2 Div 2... Actually, it was me and Pajala who were the Div 2 guys who were there. And I even rolled up in an AlphaTauri shirt. As Jishway goes fastest with a 1:11.0. So Thomas Island. People are touting him to be the potential pole sitter. But he's sitting there in P6, but the gap between first and sixth is 0.3 of a second. We have a Mercedes off. It's Kangaroo Guy. Has he got no front wang? Front wang is still visible. And we transition to Green Goats, who was on board for another lap. Goes through the banked corner of Misery Part 1. That one's slightly more manageable, though. You were on Albert Park on Friday, War Machine. Yeah, I was there on Saturday, and I mean, I met the Div 1 guys who all had that planned meetup at a go-karting place. I forgot what the place was called already because it was like 2 weeks ago. Green Goats goes really wide off and invalidates his lap time. Actually, goes too far wide. Yeah, that was a lot of fun go-karting. Hurt my back a little bit, and then I hurt my neck like a week later. I've been hurting my back, Mus. I've been hurting my back. Why does the center of the Haas change between 1-1 and Haas? That's down to individual sponsors. So in the 2021 season, Mick Schumacher's car had 1-1 on the center of the halo because he was personally sponsored by 1-1. And Nikita Mazepin wasn't sponsored by 1-1. So as a result, he didn't have that on his car. And if you actually check their racing suits, Rose, you will see that Mazepin last season had Moscow State University, which probably doesn't exist because Russia has no money or something. And Mick Schumacher had 1-1 on the center. So you're wearing a Holden racing jacket. I bought a Kelly Grove racing jacket. That was Andre Heimgartner's one because I really rate Andre Heimgartner as a supercars driver. Plus, I pretty much rate any Kiwi supercars driver anyway because they drive supercars better than the Aussies do for the most part. I mean, shit, Van Gizzy and Scotty Mack. Need I say more? But Heimgartner's up there too. He's not quite as good, but he's pretty damn decent in his own right, and he can get a lot out of some of the machinery. Yes, that's correct, Rose. Yeah. So Mick has 1-1, and Maz's online car and real car that reflected their real cars in the 2021 season. But of course, now that Ural Kali is gone, Crab Rave. Can we have some Crab Rave emojis in the chat? Because the Crab Rave is good. Crab Rave. What did you just say? Rose redeemed an outlap, did they? Was it for Thomas Island, was it? I did say Kiwis are better. Scotty Mack, Shane Van Gizzy, Greg Murphy, Andre Heimgartner. Not necessarily. I'm kind of joking with him because he's only won one race, but he's pretty damn decent for a midfield driver. We're on board with Thomas Ireland. Oh, fuck you, mum, if you say that. I just said it though, mate. So good luck finding me. We're on board with Thomas Ireland. I didn't see what Rose set Thomas last run. Well, isn't that convenient? We're on board with him right now on his last run. He does have traffic in front of him in the form of the Alfa Romeo of Car Gamer. Car Gamer would be wise to move out of the way. Unless he is on a hot lap himself, we're going to quickly check. Going by his pace, he is. They are following each other. Kangaroo Guy retires, having set the second fastest time of the session. Thomas Ireland goes quicker, but by not enough in the first sector, but it is a very tight, narrow margin between fastest and slowest in Sector 1. What really matters is Sector 2 and 3, and we're going to go closely on board and look and see what he can do. He might be affected by the dirty air, though, of Car Gamer in the Alfa Romeo. No, Car Gamer gets out of the way, so Car Gamer does not improve. He opts to stay in 5th. Thomas Ireland's up by 2.2 of a second, nearly 3/10 of a second, honestly. And we have an Alfa Romeo yellow flagging, so that is Car Gamer likely retiring from session. Mad Dog opts to retire. He's set the 7th fastest time of the session. Thomas Ireland goes through the banked corner of misery, keeps it very stable. It doesn't show any signs of the rear kicking out on him. Crosses the line. Goes provisional pole with a 1:10.891. So that's a mighty lap right there. That's not gonna lie, that's approaching on Div 1 pace there a little, as we have goats drifting down turn 7. I don't know if it's turn 7. I'm just randomly calling it to make it look a bit more professional. Yeah, signatures from the supercar guys. Yeah, I didn't see any of the racing car guys, but I just walked around. I did a shit ton of walking. That's what I did in 2019 when I was there, actually. Green Goats has not improved. Jishway has not improved. It looks like the grid has been set, unless Top Racing Life, sorry, there's Top and there's Thomas. That gets confusing. Unless he's out sitting on the lap, but he does go P7 anyway. We will see once the cars go into their boxes. Damn me, your bank details. Hey mate, that sounds a bit sketchy to me, mate. As long as you're not asking me to pay you through gift cards. I'm not keen on I only do coin squirt. Now that's an obscure reference. Well, not really if you watch Atomic Shrimp. But yes, congratulations to Thomas Ireland. He has been at benchmark pace this week in the Netherlands, or this week, more like tonight, because it's not over a weekend. As I've previously stated, if this was a weekend, then I'd probably be dead within 2 weeks. New comp for Kanga. Yeah, Kanga, Jish, and Crunchy, because they're all the top 3. So they've all got some competition. They've all got some serious competition. I mean, look at the top 5 there, 3.5 tenths, just a bit over 3.5 tenths between 1st and 5th. But your top 10 for the Dutch Grand Prix are Thomas Ireland on pole. A 10th behind him is Jishway alongside him. But further down the field, we've got Kangaroo Guard, we've got Green Goats, Crunchy Swarman, Car Gamer, Top Racing Life, Mad Dog, AMG Mazepin, and Rapid Clappy, who did not set a time. He unfortunately crashed when he started his proper lap, his first proper lap. And now the countdown begins to the race itself. I cannot remember if we set formation lap, but if we have, good luck. If we haven't, well, even more good luck, because, I mean, everyone does start with the same temperature of tyres, but yeah, you know, doesn't give everyone the reconnaissance lap that everyone needs. And as we count down from 5, 4, we are etching closer to the start of this race. Let me know if you've enjoyed the stream so far. If not, why not? I'm happy to take criticism. I genuinely take a lot of it in the Discord anyway. And things look interestingly cloudy out there. Has anyone confirmed if it's anyone in Div 3? No, Ron, myself, and Matt Skills. I didn't bet, mate. I don't bet. Has anyone been able to confirm what the weather is going to be for this race? Because those clouds look very burpy. Well, who's one of your friends joining? Because why? Who joined? Let's find out in the race director. Be someone who started last. Yeah, he needs to leave. Just told him to leave because he is not. Yeah, I just saw that, Claps. Thank you for letting me know about that. I've just told him to leave. But because this game hates people, I can't actually kick people out in the session itself. So hopefully he leaves. That will leave a ghosted car. I can't wait to get a comment from he hasn't even left. Can't wait to get a comment from Bajala saying, "Who the hell's this guy?" Because that's what usually happens when we have someone who's just joined in at last minute. Before anyone knows that I've sent him a message, Clappy, already. Don't worry, I've already done that. I type really quickly with my D-pad because the D-pad typing is superior typing, unless it's a Wii U gamepad, which I have actually. I have right here. Fun fact: if anyone here has an OG PS4 model and you have a Wii U, which the crossover is likely very small. Let's be real here, because the PS4 came out 9 years ago. Oh dear, it came out 9 years ago, didn't it? Yeah, is he... Yeah, I don't know what's he doing. You need to leave, mate. FTR Curtis needs to leave. I can't kick him out of this game, though, because our Codemasters is like, "Oh, what's league racing?" And like, "Oh, you can use the league menus. We have a Ferrari that's gone off-roading." I mean, there is a Ferrari SUV coming at some point in the future, so I guess, sure. So we've still got this guy going around for some reason, but that's a... As long as he quits or he retires from session somewhere, as long as he doesn't take anyone out, that is fine. In fact, I will take a screenshot of the qualifying order just in case we have a bit of griefing, because that's always likely. Oh, and my cat is opted to scratch himself, and my bouncing my Ottoman's result. Okay, yellow flag in sector 3 because safety car glitch, I guess. Apparently we need that. 5 lights, they're gone, and the race begins. Let's see how everyone handles themselves going in turn 1. Thomas Island has a very slow start there, gets off very poorly, and ends up 4th by first corner. Oh, hang on, I'm seeing a front wing just flying around the joint there. Someone's lost their front wing. Oh, someone's just gone flying off there. I don't know who's just gone flying off, but it's an Aston Martin. And I hope this guy has not been involved in any accidents. I don't know why he's still racing, but X-Labs has no front wing. And Dusk Till Dawn is looking to make a move on X-Labs, but X-Labs is holding his line very well there. But Jishway managed to get a brilliant start there and get a big lead there on Thomas Island, who's Thomas Island, the pole sitter, is now down in P4. So, carnage further back of field. As we see Loopy getting involved there between the Haas and the Aston Martin. And there's contact between X-Laps and It's Your Boy here. But nonetheless, the Haas of Jishway leads going into the bait corner of misery. Will he keep it stable? Because that's never a guarantee on this friggin' track. Looks pretty good. Crosses the line, the leader and post fastest lap. Of course, that will change over time. Crunchy Swimman and Car Gamer, Crunchy Swimman and Top Racing Life, my apologies. Battling. It's a boy here in FTR Curtis. FTR Curtis isn't actually supposed to be in this race, but whatever. Can't control anything in this fucking game. Stays ahead. Showing some semi-clean racing, if I'm going to be honest, so good on him. Or just joining in and just racing clean. Such is life in Div 3, it seems. But as it stands, though, everyone is super close with each other. And DRS, no one will really benefit from DRS as AMG Mazepin and Mad Dog are side by side. Who will get ahead into the braking zone? AMG Mazepin looks to have sealed the deal there. It stays ahead going into the next braking zone there. So nice effort there from AMG Mazepin to gain a few positions there. So on lap 2, still Jishway leading, but Kangaroo Guy is keeping him honest there. In the Mercedes, Green Goats isn't far behind him either. And Thomas Island, P4, looking pretty good, although he has fallen back from pole. So not an ideal situation for the Alpine driver, but still could be considerably worse as Cargamer spins off on the banked corner of misery, and we're seeing 2 consecutive fastest laps being set there as Cargamer comes back on track. With any damage, he manages to avoid damage. He needs to be careful though. The Ferrari of Dust gets past him, and Itzy Boy here pits. Does he pit for wing damage? He does have a front wing replacement, so he has had wing damage somewhere. So a lot of carnage further back of field, which has definitely upset the order quite a bit. And I hope that that random person joining hasn't caused that, because that would be very annoying if it was the case. But Rapid Clappy gets ahead of It's Your Boy here. I'm actually going to see if he stays ahead, because it's super close between these two. 2 Alphas, 14th and 15th right now. Cargamer is in a less than ideal spot. I saw, it looks like he nearly lost it, or one of the Alphas nearly lost it there. But anyway. Oh, that's not just... It was showing Jishway as X-Laps. It's like, yeah, Jishway's quick, but he's not that far ahead of everyone else on lap 3. Who's Columbus? That's a good question, but yeah, has the random realized? Yeah, yeah, but he's look. I gotta say, it's kind of hilarious. Oh, we're seeing XRT. Unfortunately for him, spin off somewhere. Was he pushed wide? Maybe. But we're seeing him. Kind of, he's racing cleanly. So as much as this is kind of like, mate, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not complaining because he seems to be racing cleanly. I don't know if it fills out 20 car grid. It fills out 20 car grid as long as he doesn't cause any incidents. And we find out who he is later. As we see Little C Casper, or Casper as I'll call him, because Little C Casper is a bit of a weird mouthful. He's battling Urban Growth for the last points paying position. Urban Growth looks a little unsteady there, but Urban Growth has gained a few positions from his premature Q1 exit as Casper goes very wide off and gifts the mysterious man P10. Keep cycling through the cameras because there's a battle going on up ahead for the top 3. Yeah, I don't get it either. Hey, don't delete Punjabi's messages. What happens if he takes P1? Well, we've actually had this happen before. We've had a Euro Div 3 guy win at Imola. I forgot what his name was. But he won, and then we gave it to the next person down, who was one man. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3. We're not sure what that is from. Maybe from the Red Bull of Casper, maybe. He's diving straight into the pit, so maybe he has front wing damage. Keep an eye on that. But Urban Growth still in P9, holding out pretty well. MG Mazepin's getting in on the pack, and oh! Kangaroo Guy and Green Goats have got contact. I don't know if that's... Oh, and Green Goats should have probably paid a bit more attention, even if it was a random. Should have absolutely paid a bit more attention. And unfortunately, these two... Well, they seem to have avoided damage. Either the damage model is completely broken, or surely we get him in for a grilling interview. VSC deployed, though. Maybe, I guess, Michael Massey felt like deploying a VSC. I don't know. Maybe he got bored. He's like, oh, guys, we've got to deploy a VSC. It sounded more British than it did Australian. When I try to make fun of Australians, I sound British. And Kangaroo Guy, to add wounds to the shit-covered wounds that have unfortunately festered upon him through no fault of his own, he's now got a drive-through. Yeah, it's quickly gone very bad for him, which is massively unfortunate. And I hope it wasn't through the result of any form of dirty driving. Still under VSC conditions. Has anyone opted to pit? No. None of the top 8. None of the top 9 points paying positions. Points paying positions doesn't opt to pit. DRS is enabled. We are back under racing conditions. On lap 6 of 36. 30 laps to go, obviously. 31 laps, actually, specifically. Um, as I keep forgetting. FTR is an esports league, is it? Well, you see, that just goes to show how clueless I am, because I don't really, legit, other than rapid racing, I don't know much about league racing these days. I know, like, obviously, like, the big guys, and I obviously know that the sex offender TRL Limitless is doing things still, but, you know, I know some of the big, and, yeah, I know Opmir, obviously I know him. But other than, I don't know, obviously know him in person, but, like, I know of his existence. I know he does some crazy shit with the F1 games. Brendan Lee, a couple of other names. I know those exist, but I don't know of the local league scene for this game. I only know of OCE and Rapid Racing. Oh, and Aussie Boys, or Aussie AB, and I feel I've done these guys dirty here, but Kirko and Goffey's group, WRL, Wallaby Racing League. I do apologise for not remembering that. Then again, I haven't had league racing on my mind. Loopy goes way off. Looks to be cleaning up the track. Looks to be accumulating and mowing the lawns. The little bits of grass that we have is actually... Honestly, it wouldn't make sense to mow lawns around here. I mean, there's plenty of grass, but underneath is sand. This XRT, for some reason, is now down in P20. I didn't see him go down to P20 at any point, but we've got a yellow flag at Sector 1. It's Mad Dog. He spins. And he has a front wing. Oh, he has an end plate missing, though. Oh, no, he doesn't. Is the damage model just... Has Cody's just gone, no damage model. Why the fuck did I just see gonorrhea? Doesn't matter if gonorrhea is a league. The point is he shouldn't be there. He shouldn't! He shouldn't. And if he causes any incidents, he's just gonna get banned, mate. Yeah, I'm gonna block him on fucking Xbox, and so he can't join off me. I mean, he'll be able to join off other people. So, shit. He is having a decent job. His points won't count, though. So, basically, 9th is 8th, 10th is 9th, and 11th is 10th. Congratulations, Mad Dog. You're in the points. Kangaroo Guy's only one place off as well. Thomas Island sits the fastest lap of the race on lap 8. Fun thing about these tyres is that you'd think, given the banked nature of these corners, quite a few of these corners, not all of them, mind you, but quite a few, you'd think that tyre would be rather high, given there's a lot of constant, like this, for example, there's constant pressure being put on those tyres. Not really. The tyre wear's pretty good here. You can run about 12 to 15 laps as AMG Mazepin leaves the session for some reason. He's sitting in 5th, so if you're disappointed about being in 5th, I don't know what to tell you. I'd be chuffed if I finished 5th in the Dutch GP in Div 2. I probably still would have had my points lead. Let me check the chat real quick. Checking. Oh, maybe. I've just told some of the admins that there's you can do the whole race on mediums. Yeah, you can. As Thomas Allen makes a move on Jushway, he gets ahead into the braking zone and seals the deal there with DRS assistance. Thomas Allen takes the lead back from his pole start, so he's finally undone all the. He's finally regained the progress he undid at that poor start he had. He leads by over 0.6 of a second, so he's had a flying first sector there. Will he be purple first sector? He will not, interestingly enough. That wasn't really good English, but anyway. So what you doing, Alex Albon? Mate, if I did this race and someone told me that on Monday, I would have actually been tempted to do it, but I didn't. Not gonna lie though, the hards suck. The hards fucking suck on this game. So they wouldn't be fun to drive. I betcha Cody's will make the hards like really unfun to drive as well, even though the hards seem to be easily the best tyre right now. MG Mazepin has rejoined. Still got an X across his name, as we have a yellow flag. Green Goats is just cutting his way through. Oh no, never mind, he's not cutting his way through. It's X-Laps and him getting involved there a little bit. Fortunately for him, X-Laps is ghosted, so they can't hit each other, but they are racing. And of course, it is still pretty early on in this race, so anything can happen. As we see Green Goats attempting to catch up to Urban Growth, with FTR Curtis not far behind him either. The mystery man who randomly joined the lobby and is doing good, clean racing. should have probably let us know, mate. But respect for you for... Oh, I thought he just rear-ended Green Goats as I said that. I commentator's curse. Worst case scenario there. As Car Gamer and MG Mazepin all have some slight contact going into the first banking corner. First banking corner? Bank holiday. We'll call it Combank corner. There you go. Combank corner. So the Aston Martins are not having an ideal race right now as XRT goes into the grass on the Westpac corner. So I'm just going to name all these corners after banks now. You're welcome. I want the right opportunity to do it, like you know, someone making a pass on someone and just being like, oh, this is sponsored by... But no, I'm not going to do that. But we are sponsored by Sully's shirts. You're not dressed until you're wearing a Sully's, as Thomas Ireland baits everyone. Oh, and Crunchy spins! Crunches the wall, but seems to have managed to avoid damage. Again, it seems the damage model's broken. I have this on sim, for fuck's sake. And people have... I mean, to be fair, I survived that in Div 2 as well, so I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with this game. But as it stands, your top 10 on lap 11 of 36 are Thomas Island, Jushway, Top Racing Life, Crunchy Swanman, Urban Growth. So he's actually looking pretty racy, Urban Growth. He's looking... Oh, he gained a bit on Crunchy, but Crunchy's regained a little bit. Green Goats is super close behind him. Green Goats is in 6th, FTR Curtis in 7th, AMG Mazepin 8th. We have a yellow flag in Sector 1. I believe it is Clappy. We'll see as the Red Bull goes past. It is not. I don't know. I'm confused. Anyway, 8th Mazepin, 9th Car Gamer, and 10th Dusk. Crunchy Spin Man. No, he's not driving a Ferrari, so he's not Spin Man. He's Crunchy Albon. Well, Albon hasn't spun in the Williams yet. I've probably jinxed that preemptively. As we see Loopy. Oh! Casper has gone off. In fact, he's gone so far off, he's disappeared from the track camera. Oh no, there he comes. We need like the forklift reverse sound effect. We just needed like a beep, beep, as we see his car slowly go across the track. Obviously not ideal, but just the way it looked on camera from that angle just looked amusing to me. But anyway, oh, is that rain I see? Is that why people were staying out for a bit longer on their tyres? Because I am seeing some moisture in the air. So that will keep the soft tyres running for a bit longer as they keep the heat in them a bit nicer as the track cools. So those on the softs are in a better position than those on any other compound, which is unfortunate for the mystery man himself, who's had a quiet but very solid race, 20th to 7th, 4 pit stops, mind you. Of course, it could all go horribly wrong with the worst case of commentator's curse. Nicholas Crunch Latifi. Yeah, well, look, Crunchy's had a lot less crunches than Latifi's had. He's had a lot less crunches. Crunchy's had a lot less crunches this season in Div 3 than Latifi's had in race weekends. So, I think Crunchy's binned it twice, and Latifi's already binned it 3 times across every practice session and race. So take that for what you will. That banked corner from hell is going to be even more spicier now, with cars that were already struggling to not have the rear kick out on them for miscellaneous uncertain reasons. It's just going to more likely happen now. I don't rate it. I don't rate this corner at all. As you can see, Kangaroo Guy is very cautious through there, actually. And we can see Clappy's accumulated a lot of dirt on his McLaren. As we have someone who's gone off. That is XRT. P18. Hasn't been his return. But that seems to be the theme when all of our divisions have gone back to the Netherlands. Some of them have done better than others. We have an Alpha Tauri spinning off. It's not. It's Mansell. So Mansell's had... Oh! Okay. Well, as long as it wasn't like that one time a car glitched through the track and was like freaking out in the track. The meds to race this track. I mean, my meds are anti-anxiety meds and I still like panic and sweat like a madman before races. Because I don't know why. XRT spins again, unfortunately. He's going to go into the pits. I reckon he might go on the inters, but that'd be a very weird call. Speaking of making that weird call. Oh, Green Goats is out! He has crashed. So that's a full-blown safety car. Mazepin would be well-versed to dive into the pits. Not sure if he should stay on the go on to the inters because there is no moisture on the track unless I'm getting that visual glitch that Fries has alluded to, where you do not see any rain on the track. Loopy's on the hards, interestingly enough. And I can tell Loopy's on a wheel because of the way that steering is going. Oh, I just realised, lapped cars aren't ghosted. So this is going to be interesting. Loopy's going to need to get out of the way. Hopefully not ruin others' races. Oh, Top Racing Life is continuing to... And maybe it's just the Ferrari engine's actually got like some time traveling capabilities or something, and he's just that quick. He's just periodically teleporting forward and backward. Softs again, I'd say, yeah, no, I agree. Softs, absolutely. I do feel for anyone on the inters right now because, I mean, yeah, sure, the track will get cooler and the soft tyres will have less of an advantage as you go slower throughout the track, but the rain doesn't look that heavy yet. And I believe it when DRS is disabled, so I think Mazepin, Car Gamer, Mad Dog, Kangaroo Guy, they've all made mistakes. And Clappy too. And Andy H. C2 Boy here has done a bit of a galaxy brain move there. There is actually Rain Wall Machine, it's just very minor. It's not showing up properly on my end for some reason. I don't know why. If I do that, maybe it will. No. There's the Aston Martin safety car. Screen Goats leaves his session. His untimely DNF has led him to leave the session. Unfortunately, he had a good qualifying session and he looked pretty good in the race. But unfortunately, these things happen, particularly on this track. This track is very unforgiving. No. Okay, sure. So why is everyone going on the fucking inters then? Are they going on inters to having a cheeky laugh? Mad Dog gets a 5 seconds penalty for speeding in the pit lane. They're going on the inters because they're doing what I did in Monaco one time in Div 1 when I was just drifting around the track on full wets in the dry. Turned into a Forza Drift tandem lobby. Alright lads, we're going to do some sick fucking drifts in a Formula 1 cars. I would pay good money to see proper drifting in a Formula 1 car. But then again, I'd have to be probably like, I don't know, a sheik or a king of a Middle Eastern country to be able to afford to ask F1 drivers to drift for me in such a manner. Yeah, you were having a good race, mate. Trust me, you're showing pace, mate. You're doing good. You're welcome whenever, mate, to join us again in Div 3 if you so wish. Because the more faster guys we've got up there pushing the guys up the top and in the midfield to push themselves, the better. So you're always welcome. So you see Mad Dog still on the mediums. You can see more rain dropping. You can even see droplets on the cars, on the halos in particular. Oh, and look at that. How immersive. The rain's accumulated on different spots of the two Aston Martin's halos. So you see Andy H running very wide there on the intermediates. Those intermediates look brilliant on that car. Fitting, though, because it's a green car with green outlaid wheels. Just watch Mazepin and Latifi F1 career montage. Yeah. I mean, Latifi's... What, his 2020 run was okay. I mean, he was definitely the slowest guy by far in 2020. Hang on. Who was on the grid that year? Yeah, no, he definitely was. Because, I mean, Antonio... I mean, I don't rate Antonio at all. Even though he's, like, the closest that... Like, if people were to see a picture of me, they'd probably say I'd look closer to Antonio than anyone else. Which would be fitting, given I'm probably a mediocre has-been in league racing anyway. Oof, that stung. That roast. Anyway, Gio overhyped. You're implying that he had hype to begin with. What, he had those races in 2017 where he did okay in Melbourne and then fucking yeeted his car twice in 2 consecutive sessions in China. And then he debuted in 2019, got completely destroyed by Raikkonen, who I'd say was still on that Ferrari 2018 prime high. Because in my opinion, I don't know if people were rating Kimi in 2018, but I look at his performances there and I go, Jesus, he was a really good number 2 driver. If anything, he was better than Vettel at some points in that season. But in 2019, that obviously carried over. You know, it's like the Bottas effect. It's like what Bottas is having right now is like the Kimi 2019 effect. He's our new team. He's fresh. He's the number 1 guy now. And he's no longer held back by one of the greatest drivers of all time. He's just able to just drive. He doesn't have to think about the team game now. He just drives. And I think Bottas's performances show. As Top Race in Life teleports into pit lane. It's too soon. Crunchy Swanman and Urban Growth join him. They feel the track is getting too wet to stay on the soft compound tyres. Will this pay off for them? We'll find out in due course. We are past halfway distance. Well, we're nearing there. I can't do basic math. Yeah, Gio's in Formula E. Yeah, and he's doing shit there too. I also want to say... Zhou is actually probably my biggest surprise of the season. I really rate how he's done. Brandon's in the podium spots. Yeah, but he's got a pit still. I'll never fucking mind. What the flying fuck's going on up here? Jish, Mansell. What's the car in front? It's the Casper. Casper, mate. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, no, I gotta say, like, Zhou Guan Yu, I was really impressed with just how mature and clean he was. Like, it's obvious that his clean racecraft in F2 has paid off in F1, because you literally never see him cause trouble on track or never spin off or anything like that. I mean, maybe he spun once or something, but he's been just such a likable rookie. It reminds me a bit of when Albon joined, honestly. Well, I mean, Albon didn't really have the star performance. Didn't have the points paying on debut performance that Zhou did, but, you know. Yeah, P10, P11, P11 is definitely a very impressive start. That's one of the best rookie starts in a while. I mean, Leclerc, for God's sake, had, in the same team, mind you, Leclerc had much worse start, but then he eventually became a midfield monster in that Sauber in 2018. Never forget being into F1 in 2018 and seeing Charles Leclerc there and being like, are they sure they made the right call with him in Ferrari? Yeah, they have. Oh yeah, the racist crap he gets is pathetic. Hamilton gets that too, and it's fucked. Urban Growth's on the full wets. That's an interesting call. We're having cars flying. In fact, we're having nearly 4 side-by-side going into turn 1. Racing continues though. And Kangaroo Guy Mad Dog, ooh, a lot of passes there, a lot of dives down the inside there. And we have a yellow flag in Sector 1. It is a Haas. It is X laps. His race has gone from even bad to even worse. Anyway, back to the 2020 season. If another safety car starts, I will talk about the 2020 season. But yeah. Oh yeah, Jack Aitken and Pietro Fittipaldi were in the 2020 season. Never mind, Pietro was worse than Latifi. And Aitken... Where did Aitken finish? But Thomas Allen and Jish, wow, look at these two. Barely anything in it between them at the midway point. They've done 18 laps on the soft tyre, and they're still going. They don't look like they have any issues there with their cars. They are doing very well on those compounds. And I need to have a look. It was the Sakhir Grand Prix where Jack Aitken had his sole race debut. Give me the standings! He finished 16th of 17 finishes. Well, he still finished ahead of Pietro, so therefore Pietro was the worst of the 2020 season. I don't make the rules here, but at least Latifi had some sort of quiet solidness. He wasn't obviously as solid as Zhou has been, but, you know, he kept it out of incidents. Except for, like, the time in Hungary 2020 where he spun, like, 7 fucking times. Yeah, Aitken, nah, I still think Pietro's worse, because Pietro had more experience in that car. Our has been very slow there. Kangaroo Guy had a look at the inside there. The rank continues to fall over Zandvoort as X-Labs opts to retire from session. Will that bring out a full-blown safety? That will. Okay, let's talk about the 2020 season. Another fucking safety car! Anyway... Antonio Giovinazzi had 2 points finishes. Raikkonen also had 2 points finishes. But Gio's... No, sorry. Antonio had 3, but matched Raikkonen in the points. Okay. Okay. 2021. Who was the worst in the 2021? I mean, we obviously know. It was the not Russian dweeb, Nikita Mazepin. And who's going to be worse in the 2022 season? Well, we obviously know it's Latifi. Or it's Ricciardo. Anyway. He did out the final corner. So this safety car period. Don't mind me, I'm just yawning like an insane person. We're seeing Thomas Island on the mediums. And Joshua on the inters as Crunchy gets a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit. And did someone take out the pit board? Someone's taken out the pit board. And now, oh yeah, you can see rain has accumulated on the track. So Thomas Island's pit call has not paid off for him already, because you can see there is moisture on the surface. Yeah, but like, was the Williams in the 2021 season that much better than the Haas? Because you see Latifi and Schumacher, they were battling it out. So clearly if Schumacher was in the Williams, he'd be closer to George. By that logic anyway, you'd assume. But maybe not. I don't know. Latifi is definitely rubbish though, I do agree. If he has a seat in Williams next season, the comment that Williams made about them not needing paint drivers, they're full of shit. I'll say that much. And they should just no longer become Williams and just become Audi. I don't get the history of... I mean, I don't have a soft spot for Williams. I mean, I liked it when they were with George Russell and all them, but and obviously Nico Rosberg. Oh, and of course Valtteri. But I mean, I generally, as a team, I don't know. Their arrogance, like them kicking out Damon Hill, Villeneuve, Jack Villeneuve, you know, all those guys. You know, they kicked them out. Yeah, lying through their teeth for that comment. Yeah, I mean Haas. You know, look, if Williams are better funded than Haas right now, Haas are literally just doing things on the cheap. I think they still, no, because I remember one season they rolled up, like, with, like they're rolling up with their car parts in vans, whereas everyone else was doing theirs in their full big trucks and shit. But, Haas are not as well funded, obviously, especially with, you know, invasion money gone. But they've got Magnussen, they got Magnussen back in. You're doing something right within that team culture if you're happy to have someone who left seemingly on bad terms at the end of a really bad season. It got worse next season, obviously, but you know, if you've got him back, then you're obviously doing something right. And he's schooling Mick Schumacher, so I mean, if that pushes Mick Schumacher, then that's good. Yeah, that's true, I guess. Yeah, I guess the Haas is, like, I mean, there were some occasional performances from Mick where, like, he actually got, I think he got his car twice in the Q2, and that was about it from Haas. And of course, yeah, you are right, the Williams actually had, I think they had a double Q3 appearance at one. It was double Q3 at Belgium. So, I guess they had something right in that car. They had something decent in that FW43B. Of course, I don't count that podium that Russell got as a podium for Williams, because that was a procession. I just wish it wasn't as bad. That racing wasn't as bad. Oh, the rain, sorry, not the racing. I mean, the racing was bad. There was none of it, but... Sure, brothers. I don't understand the meaning of chur. But hello, Sways. Hope you're doing well, mate. P13 was the heist for Mick and the Haas. Yeah, that was at Azerbaijan. I know Mick and Nikita were 13th and 14th and were the third last, second last classified finishers behind Hamilton. Of course, Hamilton... No, hang on, that doesn't make sense. I know Hamilton was last of the finishers, but was he really not able to get ahead of the Haases? Unless Haas just looked at their car and went, Chur, gotcha, okay. I was gonna say, Chur, it sort of makes, yeah, okay, kind of makes sense. Yeah, I get that. That sounds familiar, actually. Azerbaijan 2021. Let's have a quickie. Oh, that sounds awesome. Way to get the Twitch stream banned. Oh, Kimi got points here. What the hell? I mean, I guess that just goes to show how anonymous Alpha was. Yeah, Hamilton. Oh, bless his heart. Latifi was 16th. Latifi was last of the finishers. Of course he was. Canadians, man, am I right? Sorry if anyone's Canadian, but your drives are shit. In fact, all of your F1 drivers have been shit. Actually, I'm going to confirm this theory. Canadian F1 drivers, because I think Villeneuve is a hack and is one of the worst drivers champions. I think he's one of the least deserving drivers champions ever. And I'd still say that if I was a Hamilton fanboy, honestly, because he did nothing of interest, nothing of note past that championship-winning season. Absolutely nothing, in my opinion. Canadian, I forgot how to spell Canadian. That's confusing. Reminds me of in primary school, like this dude would be like, "Oh, Canada." What? It's Canada, not Canada. I mean Canadan. I've just proven his point. I've just proven 6-year-old self me. I'm stupid. Okay, so they had 15 drivers. Current drivers obviously include Sir Lancelot and Latifi, the goat. Who are the former drivers? Oh yeah, the two. And you, yeah, the two French-sounding guys, the two Quebecian guys, the two Quebec citizens, we'll say. We're back under racing conditions, actually. I've completely forgotten when we're under racing conditions. I've just been rambling about drivers. I do apologise. Can you tell I've had a couple of weeks off and I've just been thinking of other random things to say. I've had a lot of... oh, and Mad Dog damages his front wing end plate, actually, from going too far wide. Those medium tyres, not enough traction in them, and he's dropping down the order as a result. Clappy gets a 3-second time penalty. Mad Dog, in fact, runs wide on the curbs a little bit as we have a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2. Oh, and FTR Curtis there, losing a lot of positions, interestingly enough. Not sure what happened there. But Car Gamer, Mad Dog, and Clappy are now all battling for position, but Clappy gets ahead of Mad Dog, who is dealing with damage. Oh, looks like Car Gamer was pushed a bit there by Clappy. And Clappy gets ahead of him there. I don't know if Cargamer made a mistake or if Clappy... oh, we have... Jishway! With wing damage... does he have wing damage? No. What happened there? That's so bizarre. So this pit... oh! Top Racing Life goes for a spin. On spin cycle. Jishway is now up to 11th. Just bloody comment out in the race, mate. Yeah, sorry. I got carried away, but wow. So chaos has unfolded with the wet conditions. See, I got carried away because the friggin' safety car period. I blame the safety car period. And Mitsu Boy here bravely continues on the medium compound tyre on lap 24 and 36. I don't think he is going to be able to fully commit, as the random gains a 3-second time penalty. And we have Mad Dog, Top Racing Life, and Thomas Island all pitting, so that's completely thrown them out of the order. Fortunately, the gamble that Mad Dog and Thomas Racing Life, and Top Racing Life and Thomas Island, that confuses the hell out of me. That's not paid off. And they're now out of the points-paying finishes. Points-paying positions. I am having a complete just brain fart right now. But as you can see, it's your boy here struggling on those medium compound tyres, with Kangaroo Guy and AMG Mazepin nipping at the rear of that Aston Martin. Will Itsy Boy here dive into the pits, or will he try brave it out for one more lap? I mean, look how much worse Itsy Boy here looks for traction. No, he's staying out. The madman is opted to stay out. So they're going to have to do these passes on track. It's going to be the widest Aston Martin node to man. Didn't look like it to me. Didn't look like DRS was enabled. Yeah, DRS has been enabled, so yeah, maybe it will pay off. But that track still looks very gnarly to me, if I'm going to be honest. Ooh, and Urban Growth, Curtis are battling for position here. P8. Of course, P8's actually P9, and P10 is P9, and P11 is P10, but anyway. XRT comes out of the pits in P16. Mansell, having left a session, I think he is out. He's still running. His Ghost is running on the mediums, so kudos to him for trying. Itsu Boy here still holding out, though. He's done an admirable job to hold P1 on much worse tyres. Interestingly enough, you don't see much water runoff, unless the rendering is just, cauliflower, mate. Baked cauliflower. Good to know I'm not the only one who still remembers that. Anyway, we have a Alfa Romeo going very slow. That's Loopy again. It's not really had the debut to remember. But will Itsy Boy here hold on for another lap? We're going to go on board with AMG Mazepin. These two are super close going into the banked corner. And the traction that AMG Mazepin has... oh! Kangaroo Guy, though, gets even better traction and sails ahead of the two. He takes P1. And that was incredible. Clip that, Yano. Send that into the overtakes of the week. What a marvellous double overtake that was from Kangaroo Guy, out of nowhere. All because I chose to focus on second place. Who would have thought, hey? Yellow flag in Sector 3, it's an Aston Martin. It is Andy H, is my guess, as it's your boy here, still running in P3. No penalties to his name, though. But the car does look a little better. It's hard to say if he looks any better at all, but he spins and hits the wall, which gives Rapid Clappy P3. But with penalties, there's a question mark over that. Dusk gets ahead, and the Dusk loses the place to FTR. My apologies. Don't be sorry, Mansell. It happens, mate. The internet in Australia is very varied and very inconsistent. Don't worry about it, mate. There's always next week. As Kangaroo Guy leads AMG Mazepin by over half a second now. I thought I saw like weird, like when Verstappen won, it was like orange smoke in the air. I thought I saw green smoke. I'm like, what country has green in it? Mexico? Italy? Kangaroo Guy doesn't have either heritage as far as I can tell. I mean, I haven't asked him explicitly, but... And we have an Aston Martin in the wall. It's your boy here. Does he have front wing damage? He's managed to avoid it, but it seems, in spite of DRS being enabled, the conditions are still too much for the medium compound tyre, and he's now down in P9. He could still pit and come out P10, mind you, but it's not looking good for any solid points paying position for him. And we see AMG Mazepin and Kangaroo Guy still battling for position. DRS is disabled again. Yeah, I didn't see that. Sorry, I was too busy commentating on the race to pay attention. I'm seeing a lot of penalties coming up as well, so I don't know if people are pitting for full wets or... No, I'm seeing inches being pit, and I'm seeing a soft tyre runner, interestingly enough, in Urban Growth, holding out, so noble attempt. Oh, yeah, okay, no, the gap's really weird now. Jeez, Jish and Dusk are still battling for position there. Car Gamer lagging like crazy. Oh, and Jish had to just correct that there a little bit to prevent sliding into the side of Car Gamer, but him and... Oh! And Jish nearly loses it there, going side by side with Car Gamer. It's looking very racy, Jish, way more so than Car Gamer. And he needs to get past him quickly to catch up to Dust to retake P6. Will he make a dive? He looks... Oh! Car could have maybe given him a bit more room, but at the same time, Jish could have broken a little earlier. Hard to say. Mazepin and Kangaroo Guy still battling for the lead of the race with 8 laps to go. Yeah, I can count. I can totally count. Inter's at this point, my thoughts exactly. Unfortunately, some people are choosing to brave it out on the dry compounds, one of which we're on board with right now. As Top Racing Life goes, oh, no, apparently he just teleports onto the gravel and back onto the track, apparently. But Urban Growth is stuck with the soft tyres. And, sorry, I'm just thinking about the freaking cauliflower comment. Fajal, if you're still in chat, mate, what did you name the banked corner again? The one that leads onto the main straight? Because I've been calling it various different things. I've been calling it the banked corner from hell, and also part 2. Yeah, I haven't quite got a nickname down for it. It wasn't as catchy as what you said last night. But Kangaroo Guy still fending off AMG Mazepin's noble attempts to get past him. The Mercedes and the Red Bull, Deja Vu, are battling for the lead. Still got plenty of racing left to go. 8 laps can change. A lot can change in 8 laps, and Clappy's getting in on the action too a little bit. As Jish and Cargame are still side by side. Who will brake later of the two? Jish opts to brake later, but goes a bit wider, which might compromise his exit speed. But no, he stays ahead still. And Cargamer looks extra unsteady. Oh, Jish did really well to keep that car under control there. The rain continues to fall over Zandvoort, this digital recreation of Zandvoort. And as we can see here, the battle for the lead continues to remain very close. With Kangaroo Guy actually gaining quite a good exit there out of that corner, coming out about half a second ahead of AMG Mazepin, but AMG Mazepin seems to have the advantage in the corners, interestingly enough. Clappy's holding steady in P3. It'll be unknown if he holds that podium place though with penalties. And as we can see here, the soft tyre experiment has failed for Urban Growth, and he's opted to box from P13. So quite a chaotic race, and I didn't even commentate about 5 laps of it, because I was talking about fucking Formula 1 and I was dunking on Canadian F1 drivers. Such is the life. Aren't you glad? Aren't you all glad I'm back? Probably not. But anyway, dusk till dawn looks very unsteady there. It looks like he braked a bit late there going through the chicane. Hasn't seemingly compromised his exit as he still maintains a second lead, 1.1 second lead over Jishway. Sitting there in P7 in the Haas, the only Haas that's still running. And the battle for P1 has just gotten even spicier. With Clappy joining in on the action, he seems to be pretty racy on those intermediate tyres. Nearly called them wet mediums. I mean, I guess that's technically what they are. They're wet mediums. Oh, and he's opted to mow the lawns. He's seeing that the rains are falling and he's got to get some of that grass clipped before, you know, it gets too soggy out there. Although, I think he might be about 10 laps too late going by the track condition. But, anyway, here's what it is. And Kangaroo Guy still maintains a relatively steady lead over AMG Mazepin. Looks to be... the threat seems to be coming more from Clappy than anyone else. And Crunchy wants to try to get ahead of Curtis. But he won't have to do much anyway because Curtis's points won't count. Pajala, if you're wondering what the hell, this guy joined off Clappy. He's raced clean though. So, massive credit to him for just joining in on a random lobby. He probably had no idea what he was expecting. Oh, I've got a 50% race. He could have just, I don't know, retired or left or binned it or something, or like, you know, used the 19 cars in front of him as bowling pins, but he's raced pretty cleanly from all that I've seen, so credit to him there. If you want to join us, mate, and if you want to watch back through the stream at some point, yeah, you can join us on our Discord. We've got social media links that periodically get posted by our absolute asshole in chief, the Nightbot, because the Nightbot just bans everyone. The Nightbot is seemingly on a very strict mode. The second you, it's like the 50-meter penalty in AFL, you know, you put your arms out 50-meter penalty. If you put one caps letter, if you incorrectly grammatically put, oh, Jishway nearly lost it there. If you put, like, 2 full caps letters, like, banned. You get 5-second timeout. Jishway's looking mighty unstable, though. And the fact he's still here is a bit of a meme. I mean, I'm thriving in it because it is what it is, you know. It's reminding me of the old days. It's reminding me of, like, the 2019 days where we had a vaguely organised league where we do a few races per week. And it'd be like, hey, everyone, you know, oh, we're doing these, we're doing these. Randoms would join, and then sometimes they'd be clean, sometimes they wouldn't. And it just happened. It just happened. It's old school. But look at that Kangaroo Guy, man. He's looked very good in the latter stages of this race. That intermediate tyre has worked wonders for him. And Clappy isn't looking too shabby either, but that penalty is going to affect him. So here's your race order on lap 32 of 36. Kangaroo Guy leads AMG Mazepin, who leads Clappy, Curtis, Swanman, Dusk, Jish, Car Gamer, Mad Dog, Top Racing Life. Those are the people in the points paying positions, and I just saw one of my cans move in the wind. That's interesting. Thomas Island, It's Your Boy Here, Urban Growth, Andy H, Lil Casper, XRT, Mansell, and Loopy round out those still running. DNFing from the race are X-Laps and Green Goats. The untimely retirements from this race, as we have another yellow flag further down. It is a Red Bull. It's Casper. What happened to you, Casper? Oh, he's gone swimming in the gravel. In the rain and the gravel. Trust me, War Machine, you'll get better results, mate. It's Monza and then Singapore, because of course we're skipping Russia. So Monza and Singapore. Both tracks with both completely different tracks, but it's one extreme to the other. And I don't know, I usually love that sort of variety week in, week out. As we have the Alfa Romeo of Loopy getting lapped again. Or, don't mind me, in the window of getting lapped again. Is he still running? No, he's ghosted. Although that line he took implied that he was still going. As Car Gamer gains a penalty, which is absolutely less than ideal. And Jish is getting closer to Dusk. It looks like he's taken a bit of a wide line going out of turn 1. But maintains steady traction on exit and manages to keep P6. Jish has got a lot of work to do to keep up and to try overtake. As it stands, these two still battling. That gap around about second and a half or under for the last 7 or 8 laps or so. It's been absolutely ridiculous. Quality racing between these two. Now, the actual king of Singapore is Noodles, because he just dominates every race he's done there. I'm not too shabby at Singapore either. I love Singapore, but I mean, every single time I say I love a track, I do shit at it, and then every single time I say I hate a track, I do good at it. Meaning I've probably just counterbalanced everything, and I'm just gonna not finish a single race for the rest of the Div 2 season. On board with AMG Mazepin. How's his exit fare to Kangaroo Guy? Kangaroo Guy looks so much better on the exits. Oh, well, actually, to be honest, no, the 10th was gained there, as we have a Red Bull spinning again. That is Casper, unfortunately. Not the debut he wanted. And we are still under racing conditions, thankfully. Oh, we have a yellow flag on the main straight now. Not sure what caused that. Could that have been Loopy, maybe? No, he's down in sector. He's down in past turn 1. And now FTR Curtis, the mystery man himself, is getting in on the podium action as well. But other than that, it's been a bit quiet, if I'm going to be honest. Mazepin looks to be breaking a lot. It's fascinating seeing how these two are driving out in front right now. Considering you'd think that the stakes are definitely high for this win. They're both penalty-free for now. Maybe a really bad case of commentator's curse. But what's this? What times do you do at Singapore? Maybe it depends. Well, I mean, maybe depends is not a numerical value, as far as I can tell. But AMG had a really bad exit there, and that in fact brings Clappy into the fray here. He could be battling for P2 now, as Kangaroo Guy sails away with the lead. Oh, Mazepin looked a little unsteady there, going through the banked corner from hell. Could we see the position changes? Yes, you shall. Gap fastest. Oh, no, it's details, isn't it? Position changes, biggest winner! The mystery man himself, FTR Curtis, gaining 16 positions from race start, as we have another yellow flag down at the first part of hell, the first curve. Other bigger winners include It's Your Boy here, who's gained 7 positions, but that is in part due to a quali ban. But Dusk has gained 6 positions, along with AMG Mazepin and Rapid Clappy have each gained 7 positions. So it looks very good for those two. But the biggest losers in this are Green Goats and Thomas Island. 16 positions and 10 positions lost for Thomas Island. So Thomas Island had the pole in the bag. He looked incredibly quick in qualifying. But a bad strategy call, going on to the mediums instead of the inters, has cost him points. And yeah, that's your position changes. TQ, TTQQQ. Don't know what that means, but if it's a compliment, then thank you. If it's not, it is what it is. Now FTR Curtis is getting in on this battle as well. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3. It is the Red Bull again of Casper. Casper has caused a lot of yellow flags on this lap alone. And because of this, the DRS being disabled, you have to make a really big dive here. Oh, it looks like a little bit of contact there between him and Clappy. Hard to say if it was malicious or if it was just from him braking later and not having anywhere to go. He tried to make it dive wide on the outside there. No, he will not. Casper goes into the pits. Will he opt to retire in the pits, or will he go for fastest lap? I mean, good luck, because fastest lap was done on the soft tyre. If you can somehow beat the soft tyre fastest lap on the inters, then maybe you should be in Div 1. As we have yellow flags in Sector 2, it is Andy H, another person who's had a race to forget. Was out in Q1. Fortunately, sitting down there in 14. There's FTR Curtis spins. Yeah, he opts to reset the track. Well, he's joined in at a random, so doesn't matter. His points won't count. Nightbot is absolutely fried. What the fuck did Nightbot do now? What? Hype. Yeah, man, the hype. Did you bring in another raid? No. Kangaroo Guy wins from AMG. Wow, okay. Did AMG... I'm sorry, but did AMG Mazepin actually get a penalty there? That's interesting, because Clappy now finishes P2 with Mazepin P3. Crunchy P4, Curtis P5, Jishway crosses the line 6th. That race was such a visual sort of like trip that you could just watch that go on forever. That was kind of amazing to watch. It's just good quality racing from Kangaroo Guy and AMG Mazepin. Dusk goes P8 on debut, Top Racing Life P9, and Mad Dog P10 with Thomas Ireland crossing the line, unfortunately with no points to his name after an incredible pole lap and further down the rest of the field. So we remove FTR Curtis from these points, paying positions. And it is Kangaroo Guy, Clappy, Mazepin, Crunchy, Jish, Car Gamer, Dusk, Top Racing, Mad Dog, Thomas Ireland. So Thomas Ireland still gets a point, actually. So it's his Lando Norris at Russia moment. Thomas Ireland. But Kangaroo Guy looked unstoppable there. In fact, he's looking so unstoppable. He's kept his hand out. It looks like he was jerking off while driving. But anyway, ballsy move in an F1 car. I gotta say that much. Change me in Mazepin because I think it's a glitch. Is it though? You need to send proof of that, mate. If there is a glitch. You sure it was a glitch? Yeah, hang on a fucking minute. Unless you got ahead and you just got 3 seconds ahead. I mean, we can watch back through the last bit of the race and then see for ourselves what happened there. But anyway, yeah, congratulations to the Kangaroo Guy there. 4 seconds in the lead there. Started P3, finishes on the first on the podium. Going to invite him to a party. Get a chat to the lads, if for a little bit. Apparently, Anthony Mazepin's actual Xbox name is Nikita Mazepin. What if I invite him and it's actually just Nikita Mazepin? That'd be a bit scary, considering all the trash I've been talking about Russian drivers. Ah, goddamn, my nose. Anyway, mates, include your mics, include your audios, and I don't know. Like, we'll go back through the footage again because I was too busy talking about the race, but. Claps, you are on the podium, but we don't know if it's P2 or P3.
Yeah, I swear Mazepin finished in front of me, so I think it's a glitch.
Yeah, he had no penalties either. That's why, because like I saw you get P2 and him P3, and he got a penalty. You weren't a second. I'll go back through the footage, obviously. So.
Kango just sent me a DM. Whoops.
But yeah, congrats on the podium, mate. Quality stuff. Congrats, Clappy. That was a solid race from you, mate. P10 crashed out in Q3. Could have been a bit higher up on the grid because of that crash at the start, only in P10. But he still managed to get it home on a podium spot in the end. Talk to us about your race.
Oh, I had a hectic start of X laps. I don't know what's happened, but I had to replace my wing 3 times that race and still got P2.
Yeah, I was going to say, mighty impressive stuff there. A lot of pit stops, and it just seemed to be some people tried to wing it out on the dry tyres when the rain was getting worse. It was difficult to say.
As soon as I saw Kango go on the pits, I'm like, I'm going in with him, and I needed a front wing change anyway. And I'm like, Inters will go, the safety car will make the Inters get wetter, and then I'll hope for another safety car, and they'll be getting wetter and just stick it out.
Yeah, fair enough. And it worked out for you in the end, mate, so that's a big amount of points there for you. Yeah, congrats once again.
Yeah.
So let's go to our race winner, Kangaroo Guy. AMG Mazepin has not joined the party, so we'll only be doing podium interviews with 2 people tonight. But Kangaroo Guy, P3 to the win, mate. Looked absolutely flawless out there. Talk to us through how the race went.
Yeah, Mazepin finished in front of me, by the way.
Yep, okay, cool.
Yep.
I'll go back through it anyway, and yeah.
Yeah, it was a good start. Had that little incident with Goat, which had me in the wall in about lap 5, but it worked out pretty well in the end. I was a bit worried towards the end of the race. Me Inters were getting to the mid-70s, so I was really hoping to not get a puncture. Yeah, they were hanging on for dear life, and I had old mate behind me. I had Mazepin, I think it was. He was right on me neck. Yeah, no.
Say we would have never have known because you looked so pacey out there that. I don't know, tyres looked like they were on, like, at the end of a standard stint, like 30-40% sort of thing. But on 70?
Yeah, they were struggling, but yeah, just played it safe, made sure not to spin. Used the ERS as best I can, and just happy to be back on the top step, really. It's been a little while.
Yeah, absolutely deserved. That was a stellar performance there. But yeah, that's roughly about it from me. Next week we've got the land of pizza.
Monza. I love
Monza.
Monza too.
Ooh.
So we'll see
Monza's,
how it
yeah.
goes.
It'd be interesting to see how Div 2 goes there, honestly, because it's just a slightly glorified oval. It's a spicy oval. So, spicy Italian oval. Anyway, from all of us at Rapid Racing, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week at Monza.